The discovery of a new stem cell type that fuels age-related belly fat growth might appear like a breakthrough in combating obesity and metabolic diseases. And on one level, it is. But behind the scientific elegance of this finding lies a far more sobering reality, a deeply troubling glimpse into how aggressively the aging body works against itself, how even at the cellular level, time conspires to dismantle the structural balance of human health. This is not just about cosmetic concerns or tightening waistlines. It's about a biological process that, once triggered, begins a self-reinforcing cycle of degeneration, chronic disease, and premature death. Researchers at City of Hope, a leading center for cancer and diabetes research, have identified a new stem cell type called CPS, committed preadipocytes, age-specific. These cells emerge in middle age and act like internal saboteurs, converting aggressively into fat cells, particularly around the abdomen. Unlike the traditional narrative that fat gain is solely due to lifestyle, this research points to a hidden cellular switch, one that flips as we age and drives belly fat growth from the inside out. Even individuals maintaining stable weight might find themselves unable to escape this deep metabolic shift. The implications of this discovery are massive and troubling. Belly fat is not benign. It's metabolically active and dangerously inflammatory. Abdominal fat correlates directly with insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. When this type of fat increases not due to excess calories alone, but because of intrinsic changes in the body's stem cell behavior, it signals a biological betrayal. The body isn't just passively gaining fat, it's actively, even enthusiastically, creating it. And worse, this process is relentless. The study found that aging doesn't weaken these particular stem cells, as happens with many others. Quite the opposite. Aging supercharges them. CPS don't just linger in the background. They wake up with force. Stem cells from older mice transplanted into young mice still created vast quantities of fat. Meanwhile, young stem cells placed into older mice were largely inert. In other words, it's not the environment. It's the inherent programming of aging cells themselves that drives this fat-producing transformation. This is not just a passive marker of getting older. It's an active threat. CPS, once triggered, appear almost impossible to stop without medical intervention. And their activity is fueled by the LIFR, leukemia inhibitory factor receptor, pathway, a molecular signaling mechanism that becomes more active with age. It's as if the body has been pre-wired to sabotage itself after a certain point in life, dialing up fat production while muscle mass fades, pushing individuals into a riskier metabolic state, even when they maintain healthy habits. While some may see the identification of CPS and LIFR as a hopeful step toward future therapies, we must not overlook the warning. Age-related obesity is not solely due to external choices. It is a built-in biological collapse, one that worsens silently over time. Middle-aged individuals fighting belly fat aren't simply up against diet or exercise challenges. They are up against their own cells, which have begun to function like metabolic time bombs. In human tissues, CPS were found in significantly higher numbers in middle-aged samples, confirming that this is not just a mouse phenomenon. The research illustrates a terrifying possibility. Once CPS become active, they may continue to generate fat cells at a scale the body cannot counteract through ordinary means. This explains why, for many, belly fat seems to grow uncontrollably after a certain age, regardless of diet or exercise efforts. It's not a failure of willpower, it's biology turning against the individual. What this reveals is both promising and deeply unsettling. Yes, if scientists can find a way to interrupt the LIFR pathway or neutralize CPS, it may be possible to slow or reverse age-related fat gain. But the flip side is that without such intervention, individuals may be stuck in an irreversible metabolic trajectory. Lifestyle choices remain vital, but they're no longer the whole picture. Even the healthiest person may find themselves gaining abdominal fat as a direct result of internal cellular sabotage. This is a clear call for deeper scientific investment, not in treating symptoms, but in targeting root causes. We are beginning to see that aging itself is not a neutral process. It is a biologically active threat that reshapes the body in profoundly damaging ways. CPS may be just one piece of this larger puzzle, but if they are present, multiplying, and metabolically active by midlife, then society must urgently reconsider its strategies around obesity prevention, metabolic health, and age-related disease. In the end, this research is a stark warning cloaked in scientific progress. It offers a key to understanding one of aging's most frustrating symptoms, but it also unmasks a darker truth, that the body, with time, becomes its own worst enemy. Without deliberate, medically guided intervention, we may all face a future where fat grows not by choice or accident, but by internal biological design.